I'll show you what they do and how to get them in this video. Any questions, drop them down in the comments down below and don't forget to hit that like button. So yeah, they are pretty good, the best weapons in Horizon Zero Dawn. No, they are not the shadow variants that you can buy in this shop. I'm talking about the Lodge Warbow, the Lodge Blast Sling, and the Lodge Ropecaster. So before we go take an in-depth look at what these weapons can do, and I show you some gameplay as well, let's first tell you how to get them. It's pretty easy to understand, but it does take some time and effort to get there. So you probably know about these hunting grounds where you can do challenges before a certain time runs out. Things like kill machines using elemental damage or kill these machines while in stealth. It's all really diverse and explains the different tactics that you can use in Horizon Zero Dawn. There are 5 hunting grounds in the game in total with all 3 challenges. The last one is for level 30 and it can be pretty hard, but the reward is worth it. So if you go and finish all these hunting grounds with 3 stars or suns in this game, you can then go to Meridian City, to the Hunter's Lodge and get your reward. And that reward is the best 3 weapons in the game. My advice would be to get the best armor in the game first, before you go and try to complete all the hunting grounds. They can be hard, and having the power of this armor really helps. Watch my video on how to get this armor and what it does on the channel. But you can of course also cheat. I mean, you don't have to complete these challenges on the very hard difficulty. And of course you can switch in Horizon Zero Dawn on the fly. So you can simply set it to easy and then do all the challenges. This will really help in the trial where you for example have to kill enemies with elemental damage simply because they die faster, or this will help you when you need to loot Shellwalker crates because the AI will be stupider and miss their attacks, or you will simply take less damage. But you are not a baby, are you? Okay, how you get these weapons aside, let's walk you through these Lodge versions of these weapons in Horizon Zero Dawn. Let's start off with the Lodge Warbow, a weapon with 50 damage and 3 types of arrows that you can't fire with the other powerful purple bow, the Shadow Warbow. We are talking about shock damage here, ice damage and corruption damage. While ice and shock arrows are easy to understand, you also get them from a blue weapon that you can also buy on the shop. Of course, they deal damage to enemies that are weak against that element, and in the case of frost, they freeze them, making them more vulnerable against incoming attacks, and in the case of shock damage, they will get stunned for a short period of time. The corruption arrows, though, are like a little more complicated. They are like override the enemies from afar, so to make them an ally, let them kill other machines without you having to override them, with of course overriding being, yeah, you have to really have them stunned, then you can go there, override them, while here you simply have to shoot arrows. It's a little bit different though, because the machine will attack anyone, including you. So if you are 1v1 against the machine, the corruption doesn't really make sense because the machine will still attack you. So yeah, corruption damage can be nice, but of course overriding will really make them an ally, then they will not attack you. So my conclusion for this weapon is that it's not so good. I prefer the Shadow Warbow simply because that weapon can shoot real arrows that deal damage to enemies, shooting frost and shock arrows against machines that doesn't do anything unless you hit a weak spot. And the corruption damage is cool, but yeah, if you go fight 1v1, it's not very like needed. It's something else. It's really, yeah, it looks also really cool, but yeah, that's about it. And speaking about looks, look at this bow though. If you just walk around not having to worry about killing machines, I would prefer wearing this bow. It looks really nice. My favorite best weapon, and maybe my favorite weapon in Horizon Zero Dawn, is the Lodge Blast Sling. I was never a slingshot guy, but now that I got this one, I'm super impressed. It's very handy to use and just a lot of fun as well, because hitting your enemies with these bullets does a lot of damage, and you can also use these bullets in multiple ways. So the handling for this weapon is 70, so of course how you aim and what your reload speed is. Then we have the first bullet, that's a sticky bomb that deals 100 damage, and you can obviously stick to an enemy and then it will explode after a period of time, or when you hit that enemy with for example the second ammo type of this weapon, the blast shot. So the blast shot is just a simple explosive that will explode on contact. Last but not least is the proximity bomb that you can put on the ground and lure enemies in. This one does 150 damage, so 2 times as much as the normal blast bomb. Like I said, it's a really nice weapon, really fun to use. I will always have this in my weapon wheel. Also because you can really use it against every enemy, it will simply deal a ton of damage. Then we have the Lodge Ropecaster, so a better version of the Shadow Ropecaster. It has 20 more handling, but the amount of damage is the same and it also has the same amount of modification slot. So of course, with this weapon you can, for example, go against a Stormbird pretty easily and set him on the ground so he will not be able to fly. But there's no real special thing here as far as I know, where of course the other weapons had something special. So the Lodge Bloodsling is totally my favorite from these powerful weapons, but there's also this, the Tear Blaster. And I will do a video about that one as well, because this is a totally unique weapon that I want to go more in depth on. So it might be that if you watch this video it will already be up on the channel, otherwise keep an eye out for that. Just subscribe to stay up to date